is the frequency in use. Very good. Good evening. This is K4PEW, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? Nothing heard. If there is an emergency, please call 911 first. You can talk to us while you wait, or you can have somebody else talk to us while you wait. But you can call us if you can't get a hold of 911 or you're unable to get that phone number. Net may be broken at any time for emergencies. For information on that, see us on our YouTube site right now. If you just look up under my call, Kilo 4, what's my number? Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey, and that's in the YouTube search block on the YouTube page. Or you can look it up under, I just look it up under K4P. It always comes up, K4PEW. For information on this net, you can also see us on our informational page, which is on 146415.net. It's 146415, disturbingly just like our frequency, except for the decimal point. Or you can, let's see what else. Or you can look us up on groups.io, groups.India Oscar. And just look up MJSS for Mount Juliet Simplex Society, and you'll find us there, and you can sign up for an email, or you can write me. You'll get on the email list, that is, or you can write me at Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey at ARRL.net. So we always meet almost always, at 8 p.m. on Wednesday and Saturday nights. And of course, tonight we're on 146.415 FM, as we've been for, 578 nets, and other times as well. Purpose of net is to principally have fun, get to meet other people on the air, figure out how well we can hear other people on the air, and determine in some way that how you can be heard, who can hear you. We think it's a lot of fun. Hope you'll enjoy it if you've not been here before. Announcements tonight are, we've got Tuesday this is Saturday, but tonight we have two things. We have the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net immediately following the 2-meter net, and then we have the followed by the 2-meter sideband net. That's sideband, upper sideband 144.240, 144.240. So don't forget those two things. So stick around. Today, of course, we also do a, we do a lightning round on check-ins. In other words, all we need on the initial round is your call, your name, and your location. Call, name, and location. Pretty simple stuff. Just want to get everybody checked in quickly because we've been averaging, this past week, this past net was 34, I think, or 35. And then before that, we had 47, which was a Saturday. And if we have that many today, it'll be shocking again, but it takes a while to check in a lot of people. If we let each of them have a few words. So it's just, if you want something to say later, we can talk all night if you want to. But just let's get everybody checked in, and we'll go from there, following it up with the other two things, the buy, sell, swap, and swindle, and the sideband net. And of course, what I was going to tell you was tomorrow night, is we've got a net at 7:30. That's Sunday night, 7:30, and that's the upper sideband on 10 meters on 28.415, 28.415. And then, of course, on Tuesday nights, we've got a Bowling Green Simplex net, and we've got it's not our net, but there is a Wilson County Emergency Management Office does this W4EAO, and I probably want to talk to Jeff if he's here, because I want to verify that. He'll get a reminder on it, by the way, but it's Tuesday night. All right. Does anybody have any other announcements or need clarification? All righty. The other announcement I had was it helps out the net if you hit the like button on YouTube, because I'm not sure what it all does, but it tends to promote more viewers to see it, so more people interested in Simplex or in ham radio will actually see it, because more people like it, the more people that get pointed to it. So if you would do that, it doesn't help me so much. It helps out the idea of Simplex from other places. We've had some success in getting people in other parts of the country contacting us about Simplex, and we send them some nice, just information and support. All right, we will be starting. Does anybody have any other clarifications or anything like that, just to be sure? Very good. We're starting from the north tonight. North. That would be due north. And we're number 578. And this is our edition for April 11th, 2020. in the days of curfew. I guess we'll call it that. All right, start taking check-ins from the north, and please come now. Name, remember, call, name, and location, please.
WV4E Danny Hendersonville.
Hey, Danny, good to see you in there, or here, I should say. Who else north?
EFG, right?
It was N9EFG, correct?
EFG, right?
Is that, I'm sorry, GFG, a little low to me tonight.
EFG, Echo Foxtrot Golf.
Oh, yes, I should remember that. Echo 9, N9, Echo Foxtrot Golf, and the first name again was?
It's Greg, Greg.
Very good, very good. A little low on the audio there. I'm not sure if are you working off a low power?
Well, I don't even know how much power this thing's putting out, but it's into an old magnet mount 5/8 wave antenna on what's left of a metal, what do you call it, depot on our deck. So it's not the highest spot in the world.
I got you. Well, I got you in there. And Greg, you're where now? You're in. Tell me again.
Hendersonville.
Yeah, you should be better from Hendersonville. You need to work on getting at least get that mag mount up on the roof or somewhere, higher on a big tall refrigerator. All right, very good, Greg. Good to have you in there from Hendersonville. There was November 9 Echo Foxtrot Golf. Little problem with getting the signal out well, but I have copying. I had headphones on. It would have heard it perfectly. Who else now left north, please?
Whiskey 4 Delta Tango Charlie, David here in Gallatin.
Hey, good to have you in there, David. You sound good. Nice, strong audio. That's Whiskey 4 Delta Tango Charlie, David in Gallatin. Who else north? Any other north stations, please come now. All right, and we'll move over to the west. Please come now. All righty, we got Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot Rick, and yeah, your signal's not as good as in this evening, Rick. To this morning, it was excellent.
I can barely read it all, Paul. There's so much noise there, I can barely hear what you're saying.
I hear you. No, you're doing good. You're doing okay. I can hear you fine, but you had like an S7 this morning, and now it's probably S1. All right, very good. That's Rick in Ashland City, Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot. Who is next?
KM4, wow.
Yeah, there's no noise on your signal there, Michael. Sound good? See, the difference in the conditions are amazing to your brother over there in Ashland City.
Oh, I know it. I could barely hear it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was okay to me, but it was like this morning, it was like he was out in the driveway, and now it's like he's in your driveway, and mobile with a handheld. Anyway, who else is next? That was Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. He's in Belshire. Who else is west? Please go. I believe I heard Don in there. Hold on one second, Don. I think I got Chris, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. That is Chris, isn't it?
That's correct.
Ah, very good. Don, I think that was you in there, wasn't it?
November 4 Delta Juliet Tango.
How much power are you running on 2 meters, Don? Because your signal is really good tonight.
Same as always, around 100 watts.
Okay, very good. No, he's doing a good job. In fact, it's as good as it was this morning, and this morning was great conditions. All right, who else is that's Don, and he's in Bon Aqua, November 4 Delta Juliet Tango. Who is up next west?
W140.
Hello, Jeff. How are you in Madison?
I'm doing fine. Just kind of hanging out. Is there a net in the mornings, or are you guys just in there rag chewing?
Now, on the Saturday mornings, we've been just doing a rag chew because we can't do the breakfast anymore, so we have to fill that void by getting on the air on Saturday mornings. Any day, really, but Saturday mornings we've been doing that. But you're welcome to jump in anytime because we're in here at night as well. I mean, somebody is usually. Anyway, that was Jeff in Madison. Whiskey Yankee 4 Foxtrot. You can come back in later if you want to, Jeff. Let me finish with our huge check-in system here. Who else is west?
KT4 ILB, Jack and Donaldson.
All right, Jack. Good to have you in there. That's Jack in Donaldson, and that's Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Who else is good to have you in there, Jack? Who else is west?
84 again, Mary. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Mary, and I'm pretty sure Marty's in there too, right?
He's here, but he's not right at the radio right now, so I'll check in for him.
Very good. And that's Kilo Delta 4 Oscar Echo November, and it's Mary, and she's in Belshire, and her other half, Kilo Golf 4 Bravo Quebec Kilo. I couldn't think of it there. So very good, Mary, and that's Mary and Marty, and they're in Belshire as well. Who else west?
Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo.
Very good. That's John. Good to have you in there, John. That's John, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, and he's in Bellevue, not the hospital, the place that's southwest of Nashville. Who else is west? Please come now.
November India 4 Delta.
Hey, very good. How are you there, Carl? And that's Carl, November India 4 Delta. Very good. Good to have you in there.
With continuing ongoing mess right before Easter.
I doubled with you a little bit. Say that one more time, Carl.
I was just sending my well wishes your way. Hoping you're safe, happy and healthy heading into this Easter.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is some rough times. I'd say. It's not that they're rough; they're just odd. Anyway, very good to have you in there, Carl. Who else is? Let's see, where was I? West, please come in.
Helio Juliet 4 Alpha X-Ray Quebec. Daryl on Juliet.
Hey, Daryl, good to have you in there. Haven't heard you in a little while. That's Kilo Juliet 4 Alpha X-Ray Quebec. And you're not too far from me, so it's not much of a brag, but that's Daryl here in Mount Juliet. Who else is west? Please come in. Anybody else west? We'll move along. You can always check in later. Who's south? Please come in. I think I had WKU in there. Was that you, Steve? Steve, was that you? No, I guess not. Who was that? There was a double in there. That's why I got that messed up. Who is south again, please?
KE4TWI. I'll be south, KE4TYJ.
Okay, I got two in there. I got KE4TWI West. Yeah, that was the one I misheard there. KE4TWI West down near Watertown, and Kilo Echo 4 Tango KE4T. I forgot your call. Hold on.
Yep, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet.
Yeah, I messed that up. KE4TYJ, and that's Jim, and he's in Woodbury. Did somebody else jump in there?
Hey, I'm in Murfreesboro tonight for KE4TWI.
In Murfreesboro tonight for West, not in Watertown or near Watertown. And then Jim, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. And forgive me for forgetting me. My number and my letters jumbled up here, Jim, but Jim's in Woodbury. Should remember his call. Who else is west? Please come in. Or south?
Hey, Paul. Kilo Mike 4 Tango Mike Tom in Rockville. Good evening.
Yeah, you sound good tonight. Not quite as good as earlier today, but very good tonight, Tom.
Yeah, same with you, Paul. You were S9 plus this afternoon and S5 tonight. Just conditions. Good evening. Sounding good. I'm hearing a lot of people.
Very good. Who else is south?
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Yeah, very good. We got you in there, Larry, as always, with a great signal. Went right next door to your neighbor there, Tom. That's Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor, and that's Larry, and he's in Rockville as well. Who else is south? Any more south stations, please come on.
K4OFO.
K4OFO, Donnie. Sound good there, Donnie. Of course, only 5 miles from me, so it's not hard to do good. It's Kilo 4 Oscar, Foxtrot Oscar. Who else south?
Have you done west yet?
Yes, KG4SFF. That is Charles, and I believe he's in Old Hickory. Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Foxtrot Charles. Who else is west or south? West or south? W4EBX Eddie here in Gladeville. I say here, over there in Gladeville. A little stone's throw from me. Good to have you in there, Eddie. Good signal. Who else is west? well, excuse me, south or east? Let's do it. Well, no, let's finish the south. If there's any more south. I think we ran out of south. Going over to the east then.
WA4ZH, James and Mount Juliet.
Very good, James. Zulu Hotel India. That's James, Juliet. Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India here in Mount Juliet, not too far from me, maybe 2.5 miles. Who else? East.
Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo.
Gave up trying to compete with James, did you, Richard?
Paul, I've got a full signal on you and some static, and your audio way down.
I'll say the audio's way down from me. Really, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've got a full signal on you, but and the audio is just not keeping up.
Well, I'll have to talk louder. No, that's that's Richard, Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo. He's in right just west of downtown Lebanon. Appreciate that feedback there, Richard. Who else is south?
Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu Earl and Noreen.
And we've got Kilo. I'm sorry, that was Earl in Noreen over by Cedars 11. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. I'm amazed I sometimes remember any of these. Who else? Anybody else south? Good to have you in there, Earl. Anybody else east?
KB4 is Bill in Lebanon.
Hey, hold on, Bill. I got to check Tom in there. Tom, Kilo Bravo 4 Sierra Foxtrot in November. Tom is in Martha, and that's Bill in Lebanon. The call again, please.
W4MAJ.
W4MAJ, Bill in Lebanon. When's the last time? Did we talk recently?
No, I don't think so. I just recently got my radio set up. Been living here since mid-January.
Okay. Well, good to have you on the net. It's the first time on net. I take it. I can't trust my memory anymore.
I understand.
Very good. That was Bill in Lebanon. Whiskey 4 Mike Alpha Juliet. A great signal out of Lebanon, which isn't what 15 miles or so. It's still a good signal. Who else is east?
Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Victor Uniform.
Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Victor Uniform, and forgive me for forgetting your first name.
Stephen, and I'm between Lebanon and Mount Juliet on 109, just a mile north of US 70.
Yes, very good. Kind of. You're actually still in Mount Juliet, are you?
Well, post office says Lebanon.
Well, we'll go with what the post office. They're the arbiters of locations, I think, most of the time. Very good. That was Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Victor Uniform, Stephen, and he's in Lebanon. Who else east? KM4 HQE. That's Stan, Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo, and Stan is just a little bit north of downtown Lebanon. Really good signal as always. Who else east? I heard somebody breaking squelch there. All right, late check-ins, anybody?
Kilo 4 KC8NNL Jeff, Northwest Wilson. 4 Sierra Romeo November.
Was that a KK4 Sierra? No, wait a minute, Jeff. Is that a Kilo 4 Sierra November Romeo? That last station that checked in, the Kilo station? I'm sorry, I doubled with you again. I'm sorry. What was that call again?
Will in Mount Juliet. Kilo 4 Sierra Romeo November.
Aha. Okay, transpose those letters. Very good, Will. That's Kilo 4 Sierra Romeo November Will in Mount Juliet. Very good. Sorry I messed that up, but I had some. Jeff was in there too, and his station overpowered yours. Where are you located in Mount Juliet, Will? Yeah, no copy at the moment. Jeff, good to have you checking in too. That was Kilo Charlie 8 November Oscar. He's in kind of northwest Wilson County, or do you call it Hermitage where you live there, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm officially in unincorporated northwest Wilson County.
So between Hermitage, Old Hickory, and Mount Juliet, but not officially part of anything. But the mail goes to the Old Hickory post office, even though we're on the Wilson County side. It's KC8NNO.
Yeah, funny how that works out, because you figure, like I've told you, stuff south of me 5 miles is in Hermitage. And that's a ways from the Hermitage you're near. Anyway, that was Jeff again. He's in Northwest Wilson. Kilo Charlie 8 November Oscar. Excellent signal. Who else? East?
4BTW.
I'm sorry. Who was that again?
KN4BTW, Colt.
Yeah, I got you. I accidentally doubled with you. How you doing there, Colt? Sound good?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Let me finish up here. Good to have you on the net again. I know you were intermittently there due to other issues, but who else is late checking?
TAW, David, and Madison.
David, I had a double or a triple in there. David, is it K4 TAW? I don't remember.
Negative, it's N5 TAW.
I couldn't have got that more wrong, could I? I was kind of guessing because I didn't remember your first part of your call. Very good. That's David. And David, again, you're located where?
I am in Madison.
Very good. That's David in Madison, November 5, Tango Alpha Whiskey. It sounds funny. I think I said Kilo 4, and it's a November 5, so I couldn't have guessed too much further than that. Who was the other station who doubled there?
November 4, Hotel India Delta.
November 4, Hotel India Delta. What's the name and location, please?
Name is Ed, Echo Delta. I'm in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Oh, great signal out of Bowling Green. Using a beam, are you?
I've got a beam up about 48 feet.
Oh, it sounds good. How much power on the beam?
But didn't look what my radio's putting out, probably 50 watts.
Well, that's good. That means 50 times whatever your gain is there, and you're doing a good job here. You have a real good signal, Ed. Glad to have you on the net.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. That was Ed, and he's in Bowling Green, November 4, Hotel India Delta. A really good signal. If some of you can hear him, I could hear him just fine. So I'm assuming several of you could. Who else was in there or is in there late check-ins?
K4IDC.
Hey, there is the man. How you doing there, Robin? That's Robin, who is in Hermitage, about 5 miles south of me, over by Percy Priest Lake. Kilo 4 India Delta Charlie. Anybody else late checking? All righty. I think that might wrap it up for the moment. I don't have anything particular to discuss today other than we've developed kind of a new normal on check-ins, a number of check-ins anyway. I mean, the last 3 or 4 nets, we've managed to go into between, I forget what besides the 47 last Saturday, maybe we'll have more tonight, I don't know. But we all the way from, 34, 47, and tonight so far is 35. So it's kind of still surprises me because we've developed a cult of following on checking into this net or even getting on the air during the day, because we are here a lot, those of us that aren't working anyway, during the day and often in the evening. So don't hesitate to jump in there or just monitor the net or whatever. Everybody's welcome as always. I don't know if I had anything special. Does anybody I wanted to ask, who did I want to ask there about something? Hold on. Does anybody have anything they want to jump in and tell us about a big astounding something they did on HF or on 2 meters or 70 centimeters today or over the last 3 or 4 days?
Made an FT8 contact to Springfield. Does that count? Put on?
Hold on. I think that was Don. But Danny to Springfield, FT8, Springfield, Mass?
No, I wish. I decided to come out here and spin the knob. Was it Tuesday night for the sprint? A whole lot of nothing. Marked repeater traffic, which was good. But I heard a little bit of FT8. I went, okay. So after I coerced my system into actually doing it and remembered how to set it up, there was a couple of 9-land stations. There was a W8 from up in northern Ohio that I could hear, I could decode. I wasn't able to contact anybody. I suspect it was wrong polarity, but it was a really, really strong station. I finally got a contact with him, and I looked up his call. It was in Springfield, Tennessee. So I made it all the way to Springfield.
And that was on 2 meters?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's cool. You saw that opening that we read about in the news about between the, somewhere over, it was 4,000 something miles on FT8, I think it was.
Yeah, I heard about it. I'm not a big FTA guy, but that would have been cool. To get 2 meters to go 4,000 miles, I don't care what.
Yeah, I know it. That's astounding, really. Obviously, there were what we call conditions, right?
I think that's a fair statement, yeah.
Even with those conditions, I'm pretty sure they had some stacked antennas and some power.
Oh, well, I tend to suspect that's the case, but yeah, that takes the concept of a tropo opening to extremes.
Yeah, because I don't care how much, if the conditions weren't there, I don't care how much power he pumped into it, it wouldn't get past the legal limit of the United States.
Yeah, well, then you factor in 4/3 Earth radius and all of that other stuff. Yeah, there's some science involved there.
Right, right. Anybody else have any astounding claims besides making it to Springfield, Tennessee on FTA?
I've been tearing up 6 meters last couple of nights. 15 and 10 too. It's been open. North-south propagation mostly, but 6 meters is open to Mexico and the Caribbean and Cuba. Yeah, last night with some big signals, and I happily worked them all.
Cool. Now you're using what are you using on 6 meters? You using that little beam?
Yeah, 5-element Yagi on 6 and a kilowatt.
Well, kilowatt certainly doesn't hurt, but having a 5-element beam certainly doesn't hurt either. Because what's the gain on the beam about?
I don't know. It's probably like 7 dB or something like that. It's maybe 6, but it works. And I'm got so hooked up when I was thinking about putting the second one up there and stacking them.
Wow. Well, what does that make your effective radiated power?
I have not done the calculations yet, but it's up. It'll be up there. And getting out is not the problem. It's hearing. So if I stack them, I'm going to have to probably put a 6-meter preamp up there. I already have one for 70 centimeters and 2 meters that I'm going to mount on the Yagis when they go up because, I have that kilowatt amp coming for 2 meters, so I don't want to be a total alligator, so I need to be able to hear people that can hear me.
Well, having stacked 6-meter beams and stacked 2-meter beams certainly would be a help. Which 2-meter beams are you using?
Yeah, I'm using my Sat Pack antennas. It's a 10-element circularly polarized for 2 meters, just one of them. And then I have the same the 10-element circularly polarized for 440. And then I also have a regular Yagi for 23 centimeters. But I figured I'll take the hit on the 3 dB gain loss for circularly polarized. So I'll make it up with power from the amp.
Well, I know it may seem like a dumb question. I don't think I've ever asked or seen one. Can you stack those circularly polarized antennas?
You sure can. People do it all the time, but I won't be. I'm just going to run the one, and we'll see how it goes. I may not be happy with it, and if that's the case, then I'll pull it down and I'll put up like a pair of regular cross polarized Yagis, and I put a switch up there to go horizontal or vertical. But I have the antennas, so I'm putting up what I got, and I don't really want to buy anything else unless I really have to / want to. So I think I'll be happy with performance with it, even though I'm losing. Technically, I'm losing the 3 dB gain, but I gain a bunch in front to back, and being able to know out the noise and adjacent, throwing it off the side it's really deep null on the side. So I think that'll help it. It's definitely going to be an improvement over the next 700.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, no, that's nice to be able to stack them. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more about that in the future. Once I get my antenna back up, I'll be in great shape, but got to wait for the roof. Let me break from you there. Now, by the way, that was if you weren't here, you couldn't hear him, or you can hear him on obviously on the YouTube video. But that was Don in Bon Aqua talking about his 6-meter beams and future stacked beams and having a ball. With 1 kilowatt. Go figure. Jeff and Madison. I was going to ask you: you're still working for the Transit Authority, correct?
WI4G. Yeah, I'm still working. I'm still doing it.
Well, is traffic down about 90%?
I wouldn't say 90%. I mean, it's down some, but not that much. People still just not as busy as it usually is.
So they're making you wear a mask and gloves?
They finally provided it to us, so they're not making us do it, but it's some wear it, some don't.
Yeah, well, I would just think that would be somewhat problematic in your kind of a job where a lot of people are walking past your workstation there.
Yeah, well, a lot of them, I see a lot of people wearing them, and some don't. So just, I guess their own personal choice. I finally started wearing one because the company, provided it for me. I could never find one anywhere, so I do wear one now. But I haven't. I've been. It's been going on about a month now, 3 weeks. I guess I'm doing okay because I haven't suffered any symptoms, so I'm still, trucking right along.
Yeah, very good. Well, I'm glad to hear that because that's one of the things that kind of I don't want to what interests me in because when in these conditions that we've got right now is while they're making almost everybody stay home, you consider everybody in the grocery business, the transportation businesses like the one you're in, as well as UPS, FedEx, Postal Service. They're all working full force. They're all out and about. Not to mention everything from lawn care workers in the state of Tennessee. The barbers are all open if they want to be, and there's just a world of people out there. Not a world of, but whole segments of our economy, all the trucking industries, distribution, warehousing, and Amazon's still delivering. You know what I'm saying? It just seems, I don't want to say we're the only ones penalized, but it seems funny that they're being selective about who can work or who has to work. I mean, because obviously you just can't say, well, I'm not going to work anymore.
Yeah, what they call essential. I don't know. It's just, that's just my opinion. I know this is bad. People are getting sick and dying from it, but I also think it's just my belief. I think that that the news media is just blowing this completely out of proportion to try and influence an upcoming election. Because from what I see going on, I mean, there's people still getting out. It's just like business as usual. There's, it's just like nothing else going on.
Yeah, no, I understand, and I understand why they're doing it. I think, but what confuses me is, like you said, is if I get it kind of well, let's just put it this way: it's annoying. Today I was watching the news, and one of I think it was a national news, but it might have been local, and they said again, they go, the United States has surpassed Italy in the death toll. Now I forget the number now, but it's higher than Italy's, and they don't qualify that by saying that Italy has 6 million people. I'm sorry, not 6 million. We have 60 million people, and we have 330 million people. Even if we did have more, it wouldn't be surprising. In fact, the fact that they have as many as we do, almost as many as we do, is more surprising, really, than having what we have.
That's true. I mean, it's just, like the numbers are being manipulated. But was it back in 1917 or 18, that Spanish flu, how many millions it killed? Now we're over 100,000 worldwide. So, there's more people die of regular flu than this stuff. And it's just, I don't know. I just, like I said, I know people are getting sick and dying from it, but, like I said, it's just my opinion. WY4G.
No, I understand, Jeff, and there's a lot of people who at least are thinking about or questioning that issue of, how we're reacting to it. Because I've heard, and I don't know the facts exactly, but I've heard, for instance, we've had flu seasons that killed upwards of, I forget the number now, 65,000. Well, we've lost 20,000 now by this, and we didn't do any protection, but when we were doing the other flus. And by the way, I think the Spanish flu in this country killed, I think 650,000, but I could be wrong about that. I don't remember the exact numbers. I don't remember the numbers at all, other than that's the one that stuck in my head. But you're right. It just seems like we're going overboard, and I think everybody thinks, at least in the position of power, all the governors believe it, and everybody in the White House and the Congress believes it. They would have had us locked down a month sooner, I think, and so I'm not sure that's going to do us any good at all. We're going to have but for the people who've been unemployed, I don't care and there's some that aren't getting unemployment insurance or they have no backup. So once that money's gone, they got no money. I mean, they can't replace money that's gone, for a month or two. So I don't know what they're going to do. Anyway, anybody else? Any astounding incidents sitting home? Well, not sitting home, but being home all day.
Okay, Friday.
Hey, Robin, I know you're getting stuff done.
I was trying to reach Don on the YouTube feed. Based on the calculator I found on the web, if he's got 1,000 watts to the feed, using half-inch heliax and 100 feet of it, with an antenna gain of 6 dB, his ERP is 3.565 kW.
Yeah, I didn't want to say what I thought it was because they might come over and rip the station out.
And if he stacks it and does it well, the best he can hope for is about a 2.8 dB gain. So that'd be 8.8. And that would put his ERP up to 6.8 kW.
Don, were you able to hear any of that in Bon Aqua? Maybe Don took off after he heard the numbers were so big. And anyway, with Don's situation with the KW and the beam he's using, he's getting somewhere around 3.5 kW ERP. And if he stacked it, he's going to get about 6.8 Robin says. So that is astounding, really. You doing anything exciting over there with your days off?
I have done more honeydews this week. I planted the pampas grass that you gave us. Thank you very much. I bought a flat of sweet cherry tomatoes for my wife and a flat of marigolds. We're going to put those out tomorrow. I have cleaned and painted the balcony over the front entry of our home. It's been a huge job. And I have improved the berm on the back side of the house where the air conditioning unit is, where we've now planted new Carolina jasmine on the trellis in front of the air conditioning unit. And I'm putting a gutter on the balcony, and I'm going to put a new solid top deck on it, which is just outside the master bedroom, so that when you come up the steps in the pouring down rain, you don't get rained on between the boards, rain dripping down between the boards.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's you putting those cherry tomatoes the same way you did last time up off the ground?
Yeah, but I'm going to move that planter up on the balcony so my wife can take care of them this year instead of me.
Oh, that's really honey, you do it.
That's exactly right. Oh, by the way, nice wife beater.
Well, it doesn't quite qualify because it doesn't have thin enough shoulder straps to be a true wife beater. This is a Nike wife beater.
Oh, okay, all right. It needs a swoosh.
Yeah, that's right. I don't. It's funny. People go, "Why would you?" Especially my mother, when she was alive, she would say that she'd see me in a logoed shirt of some kind. Doesn't matter what it was. She goes, "Why are you liking to advertise for people? Why you pay them to advertise their product?" I go, "Most of the shirts I get are on like an 80% discount. I don't care whose logo's on it."
Yeah, I ruined a Vanderbilt shirt using that TSP and bleach solution. Not to mention the first-degree burns on my forearm.
Well, you were forewarned for that forearm problem.
You're correct, and I wore long gloves. They just weren't long enough. I need some of those cattle artificial insemination gloves.
I'm telling you, man, that trisodium phosphate is, well, let's put it this way. You don't want to get it in your eyes or your mouth either.
I'm sure the bleach helped too.
What kind of a bleach? By the way, Robin was cleaning some surfaces before. Were we restaining them or repainting them? I forget.
Well, the bucket says stain, but it looks more like paint to me. Stains and water, just like well, mine just went blank. Modern paint, whatever that is.
I got you. Anyway, yep, yeah, you got to be careful about that. It's like saying, you can clean stuff. You can really clean concrete well with hydrochloric acid, but there's a lot of caveats in doing it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd use that for this job.
No, you know what I'm saying though. And trisodium phosphate, while it's less hazardous than that, it really can cause severe burns if it's mixed in a concentration.
Well, it sure cleans well. I'm happy about that. So my arms will heal up soon enough.
Yeah, you were able to rinse it off real good?
Oh, yeah. Oh, back to the 6 meter thing on QRZ.com. I don't know if anyone is interested. I tried to get Wes interested, but he's too
paranoid about buying used equipment. There's a Larkin TV transmitter power amplifier, solid state device. 25 or so watts in, 1,000 watts out. Comes with a power supply to run it. A couple other goodies. Guy out in California has it. He wants $550 for it. Dollars per watt. That's pretty cheap for power on 6.
Yeah, and that was strictly on 6 meters.
That's right. It's an old channel 2 amplifier, which would be 54 to 56 or 8 megahertz, 58. So, but it'll dip down into the 6 meter ham band, no problem.
Ah, okay. I may have told you that when I was overseas in Bahrain, there, that island nation there in the Persian Gulf. We had taken a cab over to a hotel, and on the FM radio, I say FM, I guess it was, I don't think we had FM radios in the cars in 68, 69, might have. But I was listening to the Car 54, Where Are You, on a car radio in an Arabic country with a guy with a turban on his head and long gowns and sandals, and driving a Chevy Impala. But that's not the story. The story was I listened on the radio, and here's this Car 54, which stunned me. I said, it was a TV station on the radio. So then when we got in the hotel, that show, Car 54, Where Are You, was on the hotel TV. So it was, they just obviously, they retransmitted their audio, I presumably on an AM station.
Well, anything goes. Wear a turban on a daily basis.
Well, it did. I'll tell you what, that was one of my, those cultural surprises, when I see a cab pull up, and it really was a Chevy, I think it was an Impala, might have been a Bel Air, but anyway, regular production model Chevy, current, 67, 68, 69 model. And you get into the car and you sit down and you see the guys wearing this outfit with the long white gowns and a, headdress and sandals, and you go, something about this just doesn't look right.
Everything's relative, right?
Oh yeah, no, obviously they didn't think twice about it, and they had the money to buy our cars, so I guess we should be happy. All right, that was Robin. Anybody else got any astounding news aside from that? I can't believe somebody had 3.5 kW ERP out of their station. That's the best I can do is about maybe, let's see, about 500 watts, I think, ERP.
Robin, can I borrow some money to buy that app?
Sure, 20%, 50% down.
Oh, man. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday.
For an amplifier today.
But that came out of a TV station, you say, that 1,000 watt?
Yeah, so what they did, Paul, in order to get up to the power level required, they would essentially stack these amplifiers, or they run them in parallel, and they would just loaf along. So, of course, all the VHF TV stations, went away. They all went to UHF, and all these amplifiers hit the surplus market. You can also get them for channel, I forget what. Anyway, you can go on up to 2 meters. I think maybe 432 as well if you find the right one. But the 6 meter ones are a lot easier to come by.
Huh. Yeah, that's a lot of power. 1,000, 25 in and 1,000 out. It's not too shabby.
Solid state.
Oh, they are solid state? Those aren't tubes?
Correct.
Really? When were those produced?
I don't know. Danny, do you know?
Yeah, those solid state amps, Harris made them, and I forget who all. There were several manufacturers that made those that used the kilowatt, or they'll do 1,400 watts, really. But yeah, they were made. They were popular in the early '90s when they started phasing out tube-type television transmitters. The station I used to work for, that was still tube cabinets when I left. But yeah, the Harris Platinum line came in around then, and they were very popular up until the most recent repack that most stations moved off of VHF. Not all of them. There's still a handful that are around, but a lot of them moved up into the mid UHF, kind of below 600 megahertz.
Very good. I was going to ask you something about those. I don't know what it was, but anyway, yeah, to have 1,000 watts on 6 meter would be killer. I just was amazed that it's solid state, but I guess that's what I was going to tell you. that when you say, oh, it was early 90s, you realize it's nearly 30 years ago.
Yeah, no, I was there. Larkan was the other manufacturer that I know of. I think Collins, they were doing solid state AM back in the 70s. So it's not terribly new, but yeah, those Larkan pallets, those things are fairly plentiful. There's one on QRZ.com right now. I think the guy's got everything except the 50-volt power supply and then the transfer relay. And it was like $500. There's a ton of those pallets around.
Oh, all righty. Let me ask before we quit. That was Danny, by the way, in Hendersonville, WE4E. Is there any other late chickens? All right, we don't have any more late chickens. Anybody else want to jump in? I want to get rolling here on the buy, sell, swap, and swindle, and then move on to the 2-meter sideband. Unless somebody wants to jump in and tell us something exciting about their ham world the last few days.
I've got an inverted vertical. It's KN4 CCQ.
Aha, an inverted vertical. You feed it from the top?
Yeah.
Well, so I told somebody earlier, and they didn't. I guess they didn't hear what I said. I said I got a new discone antenna, and I'm going to put it on a rotor.
All right. Yeah, I've had an upside down vertical for about 2 months now. I've got to do something about that.
What happened to it? Get knocked down?
No, you got old TV antenna I use for a brace on it, and the aluminum's kind of fatigued, I guess, and it finally gave way, and part of it's still hanging there, and the other part gave way, so it made it an inverted vertical.
Yeah, that's not going to work out too well. So how you doing down there? Down in Rock? No, you're not in Rockville. You're in Possum Trot.
Possum Town, Possum Trot, Rockville, it's all the same, Paul. Figured I'd jump in there for a minute, just passing through and heard you guys say 73. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Over.
Yeah, very good. That was Preston, and that's oh gosh, you're gonna make me do you call CCQ, and it's is it KG4?
Man, you're awful close. It's Kilo November 4, Charlie, Quebec. My apologies, sir.
Oh no, that's all right. I tried to stretch my memory there, and it didn't quite work out. You haven't been checking in as regular, and so I tend to forget some things,
Man, you were all over, though. Like I said, you got an unbelievable memory. I can't remember what I had for breakfast most of the time. But like I said, hope you're doing well. Hope everyone on that's doing well, Paul, there. And say 73T, KN4 CCQ.
Yeah, very good. That was Preston in near Rockville, and it's Kilo November 4, Charlie, Quebec. By the way, I was when I first got into ham radio 15 years ago. He really was he'd been in ham radio for probably 30 years, but that's from the 60s. So it was 30 something years, maybe 40. And he would tell me, oh yeah, and he'd be rattling off call signs like crazy from the Tampa Bay area and from Florida. And I couldn't believe it. Like, how can you remember all these call signs? He drove. I said, I must be the nuts one, but then you realize you can do it if you hear them often enough. And I was joking with my wife the other day. I said, she goes, well, what's and she'd ask me, she says, well, have you met him? I go, yeah, I've met, so whoever we were talking about, or whoever's on the radio. She goes, what's his last name? I go, I don't know. All I know is his first name and his call. Their last name's not important. Like we're all in the witness protection program. Anyway, anybody else have anything astounding before we move on?
The only thing I can offer is, I think it was, who was it? Don talking about big openings into South America and stuff. The Transec's been pretty good. 10 and 15 been really open. I haven't tried 6, but I'm excited about a good 6-meter season. The East gets already stirring up, and we're just barely into April, and it's been going for a couple of weeks. So I'm right with him on that one.
Well, I was going to ask Don. I guess I'll ask you, since Don seemed to have dropped out there. Was it most of that gray line work?
Yeah, sort of. It starts about 2 hours before the gray line comes over. So you hear some around noon, then it'll fade out around 1 o'clock or so. And then 3:30, 4:45, 4 o'clock, you'll start hearing some stations work the the last weekend, I guess there was some 10-meter stations in here. I did about 10 stations: Puerto Rico, Chile, Haiti, St. Lucia, Costa Rica, Martinique. That was a good one. They were all in here. Some of those stations were 5 to 10 over. And I'm on that P500 penetrator. I don't know what they were running down there, but it kind of doesn't matter. The polarity tends to rotate when it hits the E layer anyway. But the 10-meter openings were big. 15's been really open. That's been kind of fun.
Cool. Yep, it always is. I know the first contact I made outside the country was to Cuba. And I remember telling the guys locally, I said, "Hey, man, I made a contact in the Cuban." They go, of course, we're in Tampa, a mere 250 miles south, and most of it's over water, salt water. And they go, "Man, you could hang a coat hanger out the window to get that call."
Yeah, exactly. That's almost quote unquote ground wave from Tampa.
Well, we had there was some of the repeaters in Central Florida, up in Tampa and Orlando. When the conditions were just right, we had Cuban stations checking into the repeaters in Central Florida, which was funny because some of the Cubans did not speak English, even though many do, as you know, if you don't work on EHF. And some repeater owners would just turn off the computer if they heard people talking in Spanish on the repeater.
Yeah, I've worked a handful of Cuban stations. Some are a little better than others. There was a couple, I think, that were able to hack together enough English to make the contact and put it in their log.
Oh yeah, well again, I give them credit because they seem to get their hands on the equipment they needed. I know there's several that I worked down there in Cuba that they had better stations than I do.
Well, and it's been better recently. Because yeah, you're right. There have been some stations down there that were pretty pieced together, but there's been some big signals coming up out of Cuba.
Oh yeah, I know. I was up. I think the last time I was upset, so to speak, with it was I was listening. I was just monitoring a QSO between a guy in Cuba. He had a great signal from Central Cuba there. I think it was from, I forget which city it was now. I think about it, but he was having a great QSO with this guy, and I could hear both sides of it. And he goes, "Hold on one second. Let me just switch over to my beverage antenna." I'm like, "You've got a dang."
I can't imagine anybody in Cuba having enough land to have a beverage antenna of any competency.
Well, again, he was out in the rural, very rural area of central Cuba.
Yeah, evidently so.
Well, keep in mind, I think you know how big Cuba is.
I do indeed.
Yeah, it's like 700 something miles long, so there's a lot of nothing in between those major cities.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. But yeah, I'd like to try one, but I don't have anywhere near enough space. I feel fortunate to have a loop up that I've got.
Well, you could have a beverage that goes circles your house a few times.
That's true. That would be odd. That's interesting. I have thought about trying a loop on ground, just to see what it would do. I literally just hack one together out in the backyard, just temporarily, just to see how it behaves.
What kind of ground did you say?
A loop on ground. You literally take like for 4 meters, it's 15 feet on a side or something like that. Is that right? No, that can't be right. Yeah, it's 16 feet on a side or something. Just like in my spare time, like I got time for that and everything. So anyway, I'll let you move on to the buy sell. Just want to throw that in there. WE.
Yeah, very good. By the way, we're wrapping up the net here with at least on the 2 meter side with 36 check-ins, which is way above our 5-year average. Considering the first couple of years, average was about 12 to 14, and then we moved upwards of that. And even just I think it was 2 years ago, we were averaging 12 to 15, 12 to 16, depending upon the day. And then as we moved forward in the last couple of years, it jumped up and we were averaging in the mid 20s, and now we seem to be averaging around 30 on average, but we'll see. Again, it's nice to have that many people interested. I hope that you guys get a lot. You people, I should say, have a lot, get something out of it. I mean, a big crowd, it's harder to jump in there, and not harder. It's just, I think, more reluctance to get in there and talk. But anybody's welcome to jump in anytime they want to on these nets. Just jump in and say you want to, so you can see. I was kind of polling people into questions, so don't hesitate to jump in when we're on this net. But I am going to move on to the buy, sell, swap, and swindle. Does anybody have anything they want to buy, sell, or swap or swindle? Anything to buy at this point? You want something to buy. You're looking for a product that you can't, well, not you can't find it. You certainly can't go to a ham fest today. Nothing. Well, we found out about a 1,000-watt transmitter on 6 meters amplifier. That sounds like a good buy for somebody who's got 500 extra bucks. Robin, did that include shipping?
Plus shipping. I think it was $5.50. So yeah, I have a kilowatt solid state 6 meter amplifier, power supply, and some necessary stuff for sale for $1,000.
$1,000 6-meter amplifier with assorted paraphernalia, including what?
What's that?
You said, say that one more time. You said it was 1 kW?
Yeah.
And assorted what? What was the extra stuff?
Assorted paraphernalia.
Okay, assorted paraphernalia, $1,000. You can contact Robin at k4idc@comcast.net. I think it is, isn't it? Robin?
Maybe needs new shoes.
It is comcast.net.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, Kilo 4 India Delta Charlie at comcast.net. He's got a 1 kW amp. Well, frequency, was that a specific frequency?
You silly man, I'm marking up the one that's advertised for sale in California.
Oh, yeah, he's got a nice $450 finder fee on that. Never mind. But anybody else got anything serious they're looking to buy? All right, anything that they're looking to sell? Anybody think got something to sell? Please come up. Man, we don't have too many things that are buying and selling. I may have to just take this time and do something else with it. All right, then we're going to move over to the 2-meter sideband portion of the net, 144.240, 144.240. By the way, I got a kick out of that. I put that little sign up underneath the radio that said, hit the like button on YouTube, and all of a sudden there's 8 likes there. I hadn't noticed that until a minute ago. So it does help, by the way, because normally it's 1 person or 2 people, and sometimes I even hit like, just to make it so that there's a like up there. But anyway, it's not that critical, but I appreciate the people putting the likes up there. And right now, there's been about averaging about 10 people on. But let me move over to that net. I'm going to be there closing this portion of the net, 144.240 upper sideband. And most of us are vertical, as you can imagine. So K4PW, QSY to 144.240. All righty, this is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey with the Mount Juliet Simplex Society upper sideband net on 144.240. We'll start the same way, starting from the north. Please come now.
WE4E, Danny, Hendersonville.
All righty, Danny in Hendersonville. Who else north? Please come now. West, please come now.
KM4, wow, yeah.
Good signal so far tonight, but not too far distant. Good to have you in there, Michael. Who else is west?
November 4, Delta Juliet Tango.
Got you in there, Don. You sound good. You still running high power there?
Always played on 11, that's what I do.
Oh, I understand. That's like somebody, a friend of mine told me, life's too short for QRP. Who else? That was, by the way, it was Don in Bon Aqua. Who else is NJT? There we go. Who else is west?
Whiskey 4, Alpha Whiskey Echo.
Very good. That's John in Bellevue. Who else is there on west? Anybody else west? Please come in. All right, down to the south. Please come in.
Kilowatt 4, India Delta Charlie.
All right, you're sounding good there, Robin. You're using that that vertical you have out there?
That's correct.
Cool. That's that 40-meter vertical, right?
No. This is the dual bander.
Okay, very good. Oh, that's right. I'm thinking we're on 10 meters while I'm talking here, and I realize it. I gotcha. All right, let's move on here. Who else is south? Please come now. Anybody else south? Over to the east then.
KB4, SFN.
Ah, you sound good. Which antenna are you using out there, Tom?
Using the same one I use on 2 meter 440 FM. I just swapped over using the Kenwood TS2000 at 100 watts.
Ah, okay, very good. No, you just have an excellent signal. So I forgot that you had that extra power out there on the 2000. Very good. Who else is east?
KB4 RSM.
Yeah, hold on. I got Earl. I got Glenn in there, and good to have you in there, Glenn. Kilo Bravo 4 Romeo Sierra Mike, and I think that was Earl in there. KE4T. Oops, keyboard DEZ. Excuse me. Good to have you in there, Earl. Who else is east? Any other late check-ins, please come in. I don't think I heard anything. So we had a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people in there. Any other late check-ins? Does anybody hear anything I can't hear? All righty. Well, I'll just do a quick rundown. We had Earl, Kilo, Echo 4, Delta, Echo Zulu. He's over in Noreen by the Cedars of Lebanon. That's east of that. And then Glenn, Kilo Bravo 4, Romeo Sierra Mike in here in Mount Juliet over towards the east. And Tom, Kilo Bravo 4, Sierra Foxtrot November. He's in Martha. Robin, Kilo 4, India Delta Charlie here in Hermitage, south of Mount Juliet. Whiskey 4, Alpha Whiskey Echo. John in Bellevue. Don, November 4, Delta Juliet Tango in Bon Aqua. Mike, KM4YRF in Belshire. Whiskey Echo 4 Echo, and that was Danny, and he's in Hendersonville. And then yours truly, K4PEW here in Mount Juliet. It was a good group of guys and good signals from everyone. The only one is a little low, and of course for good reason. That's Don over there in Bon Aqua. He's a little low to me, but I'm sure he's not low to everybody else. Michael, how did you copy Don in Bon Aqua?
He has a good signal here, Paul.
Okay, I thought as much. And John, you had the same issue with Don over there? Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo?
No, I've got a really good solid copy on Don.
Yeah, that's what I thought you would have, but just by the time it gets over here, it's I guess it's the curvature of the earth or the whatever, but it's just a little low to me. All righty. Any other input on the net, or just we can close it out here? And if you want to sit around and chat, we'll do that. Anyway, 9 check-ins in that, and then 36 on the 2 meter net, and I'm going to close the net so we can. Yeah, we just did an hour and 3 minutes. So you guys have a good night. K4PEW, and I'm going to hang around here for a little bit. 73, everybody.
73, Paul. Thanks. WE4E.